Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our JustNoMil. In today's episode, the surprise pop-in. Overbearing MIL giving me the ick. My baby is her dessert. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. The surprise pop-in. My first time posting here. I am 37 weeks pregnant with the first blood grandchild on my husband's side. I have a 5 years old from previous marriage. Since we announced our pregnancy last fall, my MIL has become much more overbearing. She texts every weekend asking if we need things like cold cuts and bread, to which I always say thanks, but we are good because I am capable of grocery shopping for us and I like to have control over the food that comes into our house. Their family always has so much food around, they are Italian, and so much goes to waste and it gives me anxiety. Anyways, she has stopped taking my no thank you as an answer and has been just stopping over with food. She has stopped asking if we need anything and just drops food by. Today I was in the bathroom, door open. It's my house, I wasn't expecting anyone. And I have a massive migraine and also just so pregnant and she pops over unannounced. She brings us a bunch of food that we do not need. I could go into labor at any time and don't want a ton of food in our fridge, but she uses it as an excuse to come over and see us. I don't get it. If you want to see us, call and make plans. Invite us to dinner? Ask us to come by? Or just ask if you can come by? I despise people showing up unannounced at our house, and I feel like it's going to get so much worse once the baby is here. My husband doesn't see it as an issue. He was outside working in the garage and she drove by and saw, so she popped in, but I still don't think this is okay. She used to pop in on him all the time when he was single, but that's not the case anymore and I just don't appreciate it. I wasn't up for socializing, we didn't need the food, I'm so tired of it. I've asked my husband to just tell her to please call before coming over, and I've been able to keep her at bay by saying we don't need food, but she's just ignoring it all. I'm at a loss. Am I overreacting? I just feel like dropping food by leads to more and more pop-ins ESP when baby is here. I'm trying to get ahead of it, but I don't know how. Tell your husband that if he doesn't address the problem, that you will, and you're not going to be nice about it. Your problem isn't that you don't like MIL, and you don't mind seeing her. The problem is that you don't want her dropping by without asking first, and you don't want her leaving food behind. And you especially don't want her dropping by after the baby is born. It might not be an issue for your husband, but this isn't about him. It's your house as well, and it bothers the heck out of you. Yeah, after baby comes you aren't going to want company for a while, especially if you're planning to breastfeed. I was topless most days early on. It's easier. Looks like it's time to change the locks. Your husband needs to talk to her. He can be super sweet about it. Hey ma, I know you mean well, but we can't have people dropping by unannounced anymore, now that we're about to have a new baby around. It would be a shame for you to come all the way to our house and be turned away because we're busy or not feeling well. So please, for everybody's sake, just ask at least a couple of hours before you were hoping to drop by, and we'll let you know if it works for us. Love you. Overbearing MIL giving me the ick. I recently posted on here about my MIL and how she has been overbearing since I've been pregnant. She barges over more, does drive-bys on our house, texts me constantly about the baby. I get that she is excited. It's her first grandchild. Before I got pregnant, we had no issues and got along well, but since being pregnant, I literally cannot stand her. I am 38 weeks today and scheduled for a C-section next week. And she texted me saying, 1 week, how are you feeling? To which I answered, not great. Had a tough day, but I'm managing. She responded, 1 week until I am officially a grandma, and didn't even acknowledge what I responded to her question with, and it immediately angered me. Every single thing she says or does makes me want to scream. Has this happened with anyone else during pregnancy? Did it get better? Did this feeling go away? Or did your MIL continue to annoy you to no end? I have so much anxiety over her and how invasive she is going to be. Emil and I had an okay relationship pre-pregnancy. We are very different people, but generally no issues. When I became pregnant with my first, she literally went insane. Like she thought she was going to be the mom. It was straight out of The Handmaid's Tale. It's been 3 years since my first pregnancy and a whole other baby later, and no, it hasn't gotten better. She was so disrespectful she was laughing in my face while actively trying to get my toddler to not listen to me as of Thanksgiving of last year. My husband basically threatened to withhold our children from her if she didn't stop, so she has to resort to passive aggression and stirring the pot, but it's still no better. I hate seeing her now, no matter how nice she will sometimes act, because I know she's just freaking seething under her attempts to be polite. She hates me, hates that she can't be me, hates that her son won't let her bully me, and has essentially told her he will choose me over her. She turns everything into a competition. It's anxiety-inducing. In my experience, the birth of a grandchild actually breaks something in the low-grade crazy one's brains. As in, completely unhinged entitlement, institutionalizable. Set firm boundaries now. My baby is her dessert. My Emil has been unbearable since getting pregnant and having her first grandchild. Recently, we went out to eat and I kept my baby in her car seat for her nap. Towards the end of dinner, she stirred a bit, so I took her out and was holding her. The waiter came to ask if we wanted dessert, and the whole table ordered something except my Emil. When dessert came, she immediately stood up and practically grabbed my baby right out of my arms while saying, "I'll hold her while you eat your dessert." My Emil says to her, "No dessert for you?" To which she replies, "This is my dessert," referring to my baby. I wanted to crawl out of my skin. She also called my husband twice last week asking to take her and babysit because you probably need a break. My baby is 3 weeks old. There's no way in hell I'm ready to leave her with anyone. She keeps asking to babysit. Ugh, I'm just so done, and it's only the beginning. I've done a good job with boundaries. She doesn't show up at my house anymore unannounced. She's been calling and texting my husband more instead of me, which makes me happy. But man, some of the little things are still so infuriating. I don't really need advice, just needed to vent, I guess. My JustNoMil always used food as a way to get my baby. It was always "food is ready." Announcement then, "I'll hold the baby so you can eat." Stupid thing was, I spent every other meal holding my baby and eating at the same time. It's so silly to act like you're doing someone a favor. One time she crossed the line and I let her know it. After announcing that the meal was ready, she walked right up and snatched the baby from me, kept walking and left the room. I immediately became enraged, walked into the room where she was showing my baby off to older family members, and snatched my baby back, went to the car, and sat until my husband came out. Nope. If something pisses you off, deal with it immediately so you have no regrets. LOL, I once pretended I wasn't hungry for an entire holiday meal because a family member was being overbearing/pushy about holding, and I made it my mission not to let them. Pettiness wins over hunger for me, apparently. When they constantly want alone time, it makes me cringe. Like, why? Why do you need alone time with my brand new baby, you freak? If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.